Happy Friday, everybody. It's lead meteorologist John Choquette here for our daily 12 p.m. Hail forecast. We have a lot to talk about today, guys, so we're going to jump right into it after I just give that daily reminder, making sure you got those notifications set up on your app. If you don't have the app already, go on the App Store and download it, or the Google something store, and go to your notification options. This is going to be on your desktop computer. Set up the regions you wish to be notified for, whether all the states across the United States, internationally, certain states, certain cities. You customize it to what you need for your job and get those methods that you want to receive the notifications for through push notifications, emails, or through your desktop computer. Again, this is replacing our text messaging system. That's why we've kind of been going every single day on this, just harping on it a little bit. Just as a friendly reminder to make sure you have that set up in case we get some big storms going on through the remainder of this weekend. Today, however, I think things are going to be pretty quiet. If you saw our forecast yesterday, we had stuff possible in Louisiana and Arkansas. Well, it turns out the cap is too strong. There's not going to be any storms, but in Missouri today, there's still a chance for some storms. If I step just out of the way for a second here, up to some quarter-size hail anytime after about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Places like Kansas City and Columbia, Springfield, all have a chance of seeing upwards of quarter-size hail, primarily smaller hail than that. I don't think today is going to be that big of a deal, which normally would be a pretty disappointing thing to talk about, but it looks like it's going to be pretty active this weekend as we move forward. If you just logged onto our page earlier, you follow Derek's page specifically. He did a post showing one of the model runs that he kind of edited over a little bit, and I'm going to pop them on here before we get into our just going over what the models are showing. We're going to look into Saturday first. So again, this is all stuff Derek made earlier today. I was a little busy doing some other stuff, so I kind of took a couple liberties here and just took his forecast models. This is one of the American models, the NAM, and it's showing just basically what we're looking at. So on Saturday, tomorrow, it looks like the dry line and the warm front, cold front all coming together to a triple point, and that's the main area where there's the most forcing. And I think that's the only spot there's going to be storms tomorrow. So I would not be surprised if we saw only 1-2 storms tomorrow. But I think whichever storm forms, especially if it's on that triple point in this area here, it'll most likely be kind of a monster. So probably dropping pretty big hail, really take off. I don't think a tornado threat's going to be that much. But I really think tomorrow could be that sleeper day. You get that one storm because it's going to be real close to the Dallas area. These are all the counties of the Dallas Metroplex. I think Austin is too far south now for Saturday. It looks like the moisture return is going to be good enough after today that we're going to get storms further to the north, and it's going to be flirting with that Dallas Metroplex. And that'll be tomorrow evening, late afternoon, evening, probably after about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. So obviously a lot of you guys in the Dallas area, gotta keep a close eye on this. We'll have another forecast video for you tomorrow. Moving forward on Sunday, now this is a little bit deceiving here. Again, Derek gets a little excited, but it looks like there will be some storms overnight in Oklahoma, central Oklahoma, northwestern Oklahoma. I think these storms probably aren't going to have very large hail, probably pretty small hail, upwards of quarter-size hail, more just beneficial rain for central Oklahoma than anything. But further south, a lot more instability is in the air, so probably anywhere from Austin upwards towards Dallas again, and even towards the Red River. I think you could see some pretty potent storms, and then further east as well, we could see some potent storms as well. But real focus in eastern Texas, possibly even into Arkansas a little bit, Louisiana, and then back towards the I-35 corridor in Texas. This, again, looks like it could be a fairly busy day for your Sunday. And last but not least, Monday has really started to come together what could be a very potent setup. The NAM model, again, I'll show you guys this in just a minute here. It put out a pretty eyebrow-raising forecast at the end of its run just in time for Monday. Something we got to watch very closely. It's enough to get the weather nerds here hyped up, but in terms of actual awareness and alertness and everything, we gotta wait to see probably if this time tomorrow it's looking just as potent, then we're really gonna start ringing the bells for a possible outbreak situation type thing. But what we're looking at right now, the areas we're watching the most is gonna be Middle Tennessee, so upwards towards that Nashville area, probably just east of the Memphis area. So Middle Tennessee, down south into especially into Alabama, like northern Alabama towards Huntsville. So I saw some pretty frightening numbers for storms there. And then I think there's going to be a pretty sharp cutoff. I think Atlanta is going to miss out on the party on Monday. But again, a lot of Alabama, central southern Georgia, most of Alabama, eastern Mississippi. We're watching very carefully. There could be some pretty intense storms on Monday. It could be a very busy day, especially if Sunday turns out to be fairly busy as well. So of course we'll be here and we'll be giving you updates. I'll be doing live coverage if any big storms happen, whether it's tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, beyond that. Just keep pumping coffee into me and I'll be here talking to you guys, walking through all the storms. And again, depending on how this stuff pans out, I may do a 12 p.m. and a 5 p.m. forecast the next couple of days. I'll let you know tomorrow and just kind of play it by ear a little bit. So now we're going to shift over to what the models are looking at specifically, so we can actually just go into a little bit more than just these little things that Derek posted. And here is this run that we were talking about, the NAM model, the more high-resolution American model from the GFS. And so this is the system for today. It's kind of petering out, and that's a good thing because that means we get more moisture return for this weekend. We get towards, this is going to be on Saturday. Just, I'll have to show the moisture more on that, but watch this. This feature here in Southern California moving through, it pushes through Oklahoma. This is on Sunday evening and Sunday overnight, some storms. Again, this will be what happens in Texas and probably into Oklahoma a little bit. And then it continues to strengthen and move further off to the east. And now it's looking real potent. We call this in the weather community a little bowling ball. It's a very compact, low pressure system that has a lot of energy, and that moves towards the southeast just in time for peak heating, the middle of the day. And you get all this moisture and all this shear or rotation in the atmosphere for the evening hours on Monday night and continuing to closer into Tuesday. So it really looks like, again, we'll have to watch the evolution of this. How strong is this shortwave going to be? Are we going to have any showers in the morning or anything to kind of contaminate the atmosphere? But right now it's looking pretty potent, and we're going to move forward a little bit here towards the moisture. And I can show you guys what I was talking about for at least on Saturday. We move forward here and you can see this moisture coming back. This is during the day on Saturday. God. Sorry about that. And you see the little curve in here. They've got, this is the dry line bulging out. This is the warm front right in here. It's lifting up, and right in that little area, right in that little notch is the triple point, and that's where I think one or two storms will form. And normally that's not a very notable day, but just the location of it is going to be just to the west of I-35 and possibly just to the south and west of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And with storms moving northeast, well, then that puts a very large population center in the crosshairs. So we're going to be watching this extremely carefully. Again, we'll have a forecast tomorrow, and we'll be watching it all day for you guys tomorrow. Moving forward, moisture doesn't really go away. It continues to push a little bit further north going into Sunday during the day. Lifts all the way up into Oklahoma on this run, and you can again see the dry line just off to the west of the I-35 corridor, and quite a bit of moisture extending further east as well. And as this continues to push forward, we move things forward. We have the cold front moving, but it's not moving fast enough to really have that big intense squall line moving through. Instead, it takes its time just enough to get a lot of moisture brought back up into Tennessee, and you see all this rich moist air across the southeast. And look how slow over the hours here it moves across Mississippi. That gives plenty of time for the warm sector here to fire individual supercells, and a very favorable environment for supercells. This would be very large hail possible, wind, and possibly even some tornadoes as well. And this moves forward, and then the run ends right at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday night, with storms looking like they'll be pretty potent across Tennessee and Alabama at the time. I'll zoom in a little bit more as well in just a second. I'll show you just the supercell composite. It's just all the various severe weather things we look at, all the numbers we look at put together in one easy to read, colorful map. I know other meteorologists, if I just showed this and other meteorologists watch this, would be like, you're just being a weather weenie. But for you guys, it's just a little easier to kind of illustrate where things might be the most potent and most favorable for big time storms. Moving forward on to Saturday, You see this little area, little curve right here. We have, yeah, right in there. You see that little bright color for big time thunderstorms. Move beyond that, and then I think this is the graphic right here that Derek sent. This is about 9 p.m. on Sunday night. Again, a lot of this I think will probably, like north of the Red River, I think a lot of this will be much weaker thunderstorms, but I think we could see just a couple storms fire up in Texas, and those could be pretty potent as well. Moving forward, and then on to Monday, you see a lot of potential for supercells, real intense here in Tennessee in this particular run at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon across Middle Tennessee, and then right here over by Huntsville, you see all that purple in there. And I'll zoom in a little bit for you guys to see a little easier as well for that. So I'm going to now zoom in first on Texas area for tomorrow and for Sunday. Let's get past today. And pop up here, and you can see again here's all the counties for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Here's where I think storms will probably fire. That moves out, and then Sunday comes up, and right in here. So this particular stamp in time, I think this is where most of the strongest storms will probably form here, and then kind of along in there. And then I think a couple storms in Oklahoma will form. I wouldn't be surprised, again, if we saw some quarter, maybe $half size hail in portions of Oklahoma as this nice little storm farts out some hail. Probably very high volume, smaller hail for Oklahoma. This is what I'm looking at right now. Really have to see how much the moisture return is, and if we get a lot more moisture return than what's modeled, then obviously instability increases. But right now, I don't think that's going to be the case, and I'm pretty confident that won't be the case. But I know the moisture will most likely make it to the Red River, and that puts Dallas at risk 2 days in a row. And then you move forward, and then we're kind of past what we're looking at. And this is what the models are showing for precipitation. Here we go, bring up the reflectivity here. And so moving forward, we're on Saturday now. Oh, my computer can catch up for a second. There we go. Shows a little bit of rain. Oh, dang, am I on here? There we go, and you see big storm form somewhere in the area. So this would be like right over Dallas in this particular run, and then moving quickly off to the east. A pretty potent storm there. And then Sunday, I think there will be a decent amount of rain Sunday during the day, and I think that might screw things up a little bit, but it'll push pretty strong storms in eastern Oklahoma, eastern Texas, and then even into parts of Arkansas. Now I'm going to shift over to the southeast for particularly on Monday, just to show you guys. Here we go. 1 second here. Bring in the supercell composite. If it loads. All right. Skip ahead towards the end of this run. And there we go. So now you see a lot of instability here all across Alabama, northern Mississippi into Tennessee, and then really showing a lot of instability right here. If there were tornadoes at this particular run, there would be, if there was a supercell in that environment at that time, there would probably be pretty significant tornadoes. Again, this is just what we're showing right now. Things obviously are going to change and fine tune a little bit, but that's what we're looking at the moment. The southeast could see a pretty good event on Monday. Okay, I'm going to answer some questions here since I've been talking for a little while and I haven't looked at any comments. Okay, we got quite a bit of comments here, guys. Can we go hail in Dallas, storm force, hail yes. Deep down president. Tony Kennedy, I'm glad that you guys are doing good and across Arkansas. Those are some pretty good storms. Let's see. You want a chairlift? No. Anything coming to Kansas City, Missouri? Kansas City, I think today they could rather unlikely have a 2% chance of seeing up to some quarter-size hail. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a couple storms with like half-inch to like nickel-size hail. What about storms down by San Antonio? I do not think San Antonio is going to see much out of this event. I think it's primarily going to be like Temple, Texas, points north is what it'll likely be. I think things are looking closer to that than towards Austin and San Antonio. A little too far to the... Hang on. I'm just checking one thing out here, guys. I think this model showed stuff on, yeah. So you see storms. Again, only 1 or 2 storms on Saturday. That's the big thing. The big thing to take away from all that. And if you guys want, I can even look beyond. I'm going to look beyond just the past couple days. If you want me to go over stuff again, I will. I'll answer questions you guys may have. If you're just joining in and you missed some of the things we said, feel free to just comment, and I will gladly go back and go over stuff again. This is the GFS, the longer range American model. Pretty much I'm just going to look beyond the potential setup here. There we go. So after Monday, I think things are going to quiet down on Tuesday. Again, on Wednesday, I think it's going to be quiet. You got this, when you have a big trough in the east like this, there's not much moisture. It's pretty chilly. I think there's going to be a snowstorm somewhere in the northeast. It might hit Connecticut in the northeast, just for my friends back in my home state. But I think for the most part, it might miss off to the east of you guys, south and east. And we're looking ahead, this is the potential next weekend. Right now, the GFS has this a little too far to the north for what I think will actually happen. I think that this system will be closer to around here. And then the big thing to take away from the long range of this is we have this general pattern. You have the trough coming down, going through the Four Corners region, and then ridging in the east. And what that does is it opens the Gulf of Mexico for business, so to speak. It allows lots of moisture to return and kind of hang around, so it gives the potential for more storms, for something like this to happen, which this is a little crazy. But I can just show you guys that things are probably going to get a little busy this weekend, and then after a brief couple-day break, I think things really start to pick up just in time for us to get into April, where storm season really takes off. You see how we have the moisture, and it doesn't really seem to make it very far beyond just around here, and then all the moisture gets shunted out for parts of the week. We move forward and we get closer next weekend, and suddenly the moisture moves up and it just kind of hangs around. So you have all this energy available, so all you need is just a storm system to kick in. And this is the type of pattern, these are the types of patterns that once they set up, it causes the very high amounts of severe weather. And that's why we've really been kind of talking about a very above average year. Because if we have a pattern maintained like this, then obviously we will have a lot of severe weather going into April and into May if this pattern holds for a couple months. So, okay. Barrett Rush missed the whole thing. Oh, man. Okay, so Dallas getting it this weekend. Tomorrow, 1 or 2 storms probably going to form. Actually, I can just kind of shift over to this real quick. Shifting out of the models, back into this. And I can show you guys. So just as a basic sum up of everything, I got looking ahead for the next couple days here, and then not much on Tuesday and Wednesday. So tomorrow, bullseye basically is going to be in the Dallas area, Dallas, Fort Worth, Waco, points a little bit further east. I think storms will likely form along a triple point, which is just one small area. So 1 or 2 storms is going to form after about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, and then where those storms form and where they go will really determine what kind of day tomorrow is. It could be fairly rural, miss Dallas and Waco and everything, kind of thread that needle, or it could move through Dallas, and the potential's there for upwards of tennis ball size hail. So that's why we're just talking about that. We're saying it could be a sleeper day where you have that one storm that goes up, takes off, and it's a very busy day just because you have that one storm that goes to town and hits a very populated area. Sunday, I think better setup a little bit further north. Oklahoma City, most of Oklahoma, yes, there's a hail chance, but I think it's fairly low, probably up to quarter, maybe $half size hail on the strongest storms, and likely be in the evening into the overnight hours as well. Parts of Texas, however, by the Dallas area, I think you guys might see storms again. If you don't see anything on Saturday, I wouldn't fret. There's another chance on Sunday that's probably just about as good, where you get a couple of storms that could really take off. And then even further east, you can see storms, potential upwards of tennis ball size hail for Sunday as well. Have a little bit higher chance for that, say 20 versus 25%. And the tennis ball size hail would be like right around my hand is in north central Texas into Louisiana and Arkansas. Monday, we're watching very closely as a potential for a much larger outbreak type situation where you have storms potential in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi. up to tennis ball size hail for that as well. 30, we're saying 30% right now, mainly because southeast events, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Like you get too much morning convection, and too much rain to stabilize the atmosphere, a whole bunch of things. So really things have to line up just right for a huge outbreak. I think there will be storms from what we're looking at right now, but we're still about 3 days out. So I know stuff's going to change, and that's why we aren't really going crazy with it yet. We're going to have to kind of watch and see how more stuff evolves over the next couple of days. And we'll be updating you every single day on what our thoughts are going to be. Is this going to become a big event, or is it just going to be kind of die down, not be a huge deal? Well, right now, I'm kind of 50-50. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, things are going to quiet down. Tuesday, I say low hail risk, mainly because if Monday the system doesn't move as super quickly, it kind of slows down a little bit, there could be a chance for some hail in the Carolinas, but we aren't really going to know that till we get to Monday, honestly. So that's going to be kind of hard to do much of a forecast for. And then Wednesday, no hail. I think it's going to be quiet Wednesday, Thursday, at least, before we get our next system to come in the following weekend, and then continuing onward after that. So that is pretty much what we're doing. Make sure you follow our Facebook page if you haven't already, and you can also watch us on our app. So if you did get our app and you get the notifications and everything, you missed our live video, you can just go and click on the little lightning bolt icon in the lower right hand corner. It'll show the most recent video, or it'll show what's being broadcast live. And if you want to watch it full screen, you of course can click on the video and rotate to landscape mode. You can see it in full screen. But if you just want to kind of hear what's going on, you don't have to, and you can continue working and the video will just kind of play so you can hear what's going on and go to full screen if something piques your interest a little bit more. And follow our posts on Facebook. I know a lot of you guys are already doing this. Make sure you just select it to see first, pop at the top of our news feed, so you can see when we post our videos, when new maps are available, when we're streaming for continuing coverage or other live videos, and other cool posts. Like Derek did a post a little bit earlier of some of the graphics that I'd shown in the show earlier on. Just follow Hail Trace, give this video a share, get ourselves out there a little bit more. And if you want more information about Hail Trace itself, about what we offer, our subscriptions, maps, etc., give us a call at 855-334-4245. Email us as well at info@hailtrace.com, or just visit our website and check it out, hailtrace.com. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday. And not too much expected for the remainder of today. We'll be watching and seeing how things pan out for tomorrow. We'll have another video tomorrow at 12 o'clock here at the Weather Center. I'll be coming in on St. Patrick's Day morning and give a little bit of a forecast, and then we'll be watching through the remainder of the weekend. I suspect I'll be doing videos probably through at least Tuesday nonstop, so I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. I hope you have a great rest of your Friday. And any other questions? Nope, everyone just saying thanks. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.